It is August 9, 378 AD in the scorching heat of the Balkans. The fate of an empire is about to be decided. In just a few hours, an emperor will lie dead. Tens of thousands of soldiers will vanish and the Roman Empire will never be the same again. This is the Battle of Adrianople. Rome is no longer what it once was. The empire is split, east and west. In the east rules Emperor Valens, ambitious, cautious, and desperate to prove himself. But beyond the Danube, a storm is gathering. The Visigoths, once allies, now refugees, mistreated and starving, are rising in revolt. Let me explain. A little over a decade ago, the Goths had begged the Romans for permission to settle within the empire's borders. Desperate times, desperate measures. Rome had been overrun by hordes of migrating barbarians, and the emperors were looking for all the help they could get. In exchange for military service, the Goths were granted Roman citizenship and land in Pannonia, modern-day Hungary. At least that was the deal. In reality, corrupt officials seized most of the Gothic lands, and the newcomers lived in poverty. To make matters worse, when the Huns swept into Gothic territory, the Romans sided with the invaders, forcing the Visigoths to flee. Now destitute and humiliated, they demanded satisfaction from Valia. When he refused, they rebelled. Valens marches north. He believes the Visigoths are weak, scattered. His scouts are wrong. The Roman army forms up near the city of Adrianople. The sun is merciless. The Visigoths are nowhere in sight. Then, thunder, a cavalry ambush crashes into the Roman flank. Screams, confusion. The Roman line collapses like a cracked shield. What follows is utter chaos. Arrows fly. Swords clash. Men scream and die. Valens disappears in the chaos. Some say he's struck by an arrow. Others claim he's dragged into a farmhouse. But those stories are for the historians. Right now, there's only survival or death. For some, there's a third option: slavery. Captured Goths have a choice: fight to the death or submit and live. Most choose the second option. Demoralized, outmatched, and desperate, the Romans who survive the initial shock break and run. The field is littered with the dying and the dead. Even the Gothic allies of Rome, the cavalry of the Dukes of Pannonia, cannot stem the tide. They flee after only a few hours of fighting. By all accounts, the Visigoths have won a brilliant victory. But this isn't the end. The Visigoths have no siege weapons. Adrianople is well defended. The city will hold out for weeks. So it begins one of the greatest sieges in late antique history. Trapped inside, Valens desperately writes letters to his brother Valentinian begging for assistance. None comes. Valinly tries to escape the city, but is captured. To save his life, he agrees to have the Goths branded with the mark of the beast. Too late. The Goths storm the city, slaughtering the Romans inside. Valens dies. Some say he's stabbed by a Gothic soldier. Others claim he's burned alive in a house. No one knows for sure. What is certain is that the Emperor of the East lies dead, unknown, unburied, forgotten in the dust. Adrianople wasn't just a defeat, it was a warning. For the first time in almost 300 years, a barbarian army had destroyed a Roman field force, and to top it off, they'd killed an emperor. Before long, dispatches arrived in the west. Soldiers put down their cups, broke their swords, and wept. News traveled fast. The Goths didn't just win a battle, they shattered a myth. The invincibility of Rome was dead. Within a century, the Western Empire would fall. History often hinges on pride, timing, and misjudgment. All three belong to Valens. He made a choice. Rome paid the price. And from the ashes of Adrianople, the world would never be the same. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and come back soon for more. Until then, here's another video you might enjoy.